Hey guys, what's up? DJ's Aviation. Welcome to another 1 to 400 scale model airport update. Unfortunately, in this update, there are no new models. However, when I say unfortunately, the reason behind this is I have booked flights to a destination. I'm not going to reveal that just yet. You'll find out on the day if you're connected with my Instagram. You'll see where I'm going to. So stay tuned for that. They'll be coming in the next 3 months. I don't want to give the date away. But it will be coming in the next 3 months, a trip report, some in-flight videos, which will be very exciting in my opinion. So that's the reason why there are no new models. I have taken in all your suggestions and I have made a short list, which I can refer to in the future. That includes all the narrow bodies you guys suggested. Still at the top of my list is probably going to be the Norwegian 737 MAX. I am looking at the Finnair A321 as well. Development-wise with the airport, what I've done, I've put down the last 2 pieces of grass, which in previous updates you would have seen. This is now at the end of the runway, that's covered with grass, and the middle section, which I know looked really crap, with just the board plain with drawings on it like the MDF board. So grass is now on there, so it does look a lot better. As for terminals, the cargo terminal, which you can see in the top right, is still the only one done. That's because I am still trying to look for the right sky bridges. I think I'm going to go with the GeminiJets ones, but it's just a matter now of finding them as cheap as possible, and currently no stores have them on sale, so I don't really want to be paying a lot of money for them. I'd rather get them as cheap as possible just because I need quite a few. I think I need around 6 more of the narrow body ones and maybe a couple more for wide bodies. It just depends, but I do need to count them up. So in fact, today's first model is the British Airways Boeing 777-300ER. This will be heading off to New York, and it is running an hour late as it was delayed with passengers being stuck in duty-free shopping. So it will have a 2-hour layover, I believe, in New York before heading straight back to my airport, which is DJ International. It's a Heathrow, Gatwick, Stansted, Luton City Airport hybrid, so it's located in London. Moving up to the top right, the only aircraft in the cargo bay today is the Lufthansa Cargo MD-11F. This will be heading off to, I believe, an unknown destination in America, carrying some important cargo. The flight plan hasn't been filed yet, but I believe it's leaving in the coming days, so you'll probably hear more from this aircraft in the next updates. The regional gates to the right are empty, they've just got some GSE. And moving over to the left, this will be departing straight after the British Airways and operating its last flight at DJ International, so quite a sad goodbye. For this one, it's the Monarch A321. If you haven't heard, in the news recently, Monarch have ceased operations, so this will be flying off to, I believe, the scrapyard in America and being scrapped. Although it's relatively new, no other buyers were interested. However, it will be maintained, so another airline could buy it in the future. But quite a sad day as this will be departing my airport for the final time. Moving up, being heavily serviced, heading off to Hamburg in 35 minutes, is the Lufthansa A321. This is getting catering, bags are about to be loaded on, passengers are also about to board. As you can see, it's also being fueled, so very busy there. Moving over to the left and further up, we have an empty gate. And then sitting by itself, this Aer Lingus has actually been at this gate quite a lot in my recent update, so I might have to remember to change it eventually. But this is just holding here for the next 2 hours and it'll be heading off to Dublin. Unfortunately, there isn't much free GSE around. They're all kind of busy occupying other airplanes, so we'll see this start loading in around an hour and a half. And as I said, it'll be heading off to Dublin. Our next one, pushing back for a flight out to Doha, is the Qatar Airways Airbus A380-800, one of my newer models. This is made by Phoenix. It's quite a nice one. As I said, it'll be heading out to Doha. It's currently running 25 minutes late, so I'm pretty sure it'll be going out as soon as possible. Moving to the left, this isn't a new service, but it is a new flight rather, because we already have seen this one at the airport, but it's now a double daily Qatar Airways Airbus A350 and A380 flight. So we've got 2 Qatar Airways flights a day going straight to Doha direct, which is quite good. They do depart within an hour of each other and arrive within an hour of each other. So this Qatar will, I believe it's already had catering put on board and been fueled. The passengers' stuff's already been loaded on as well. So really all we're waiting now for is the passengers to be loaded on. As you can see, there's the GSE left over, which I believe might be servicing another A380, which will be coming in shortly. That will be the Emirates A380. Moving over to the left, we have the Air Canada in the new livery, 787, a very pretty one as well. Of course, they got the colours wrong. I believe this one was made by Phoenix. They did get the colours wrong on the tail, but as you can see with the lighting, how I've got it now, it isn't too noticeable, which is quite good. But this will be heading off to Vancouver in, I think, around 45 minutes. As we can see, bags are about to be loaded on. The airplane's getting fueled, and the catering truck is about to move into position. Behind that, arriving in from a flight, I think, New York, possibly, is the British Airways 787-9. As you can see, it's about to park up at the gate, and then the bags will be offloaded, passengers offloaded, and then of course it'll be refueled, etc. for another flight out to Singapore. Moving over to the left, we have one that doesn't appear too often in my videos. This is the KLM 747-400 in the new livery. This will be heading off to Kuala Lumpur very shortly. I believe the passengers' bags are being loaded on now, just to the right. Passengers are already on board. We've got quite a delay though with the bags. They lost a few, so now the last ones are being loaded on, and then it'll be prepped for an immediate departure off to Kuala Lumpur. Moving over to the right, not much going on at this gate, but this is the American Airlines 777-300ER. This will also be heading out to Los Angeles in around 3 hours, but there isn't a real need for it to be serviced. You can just see towards the bottom right of the screen, there is a service truck though, which is inspecting the tail. Apparently it had an incident on the way in, so they're just checking that up. If it's not fit for flight, it will be moved to a hangar, which of course isn't on the airport, but I'm just making that up. Moving over to the left, usually I'd move the camera now, but I'm going to see what I can do with not moving the camera to make it kind of, I don't know, not as choppy. But here we go, we have the Icelandair Hekla Aurora 757. This will be heading off to Iceland in 25 minutes, and as you can see, a lot is going on. We've got passengers being loaded on via the stairs, catering being put on board, the tug is already hooked up, and passengers' bags are also being loaded on with some cargo. Moving over to the left, we've got an empty gate. We then have the Ryanair 737, passengers being loaded onto this one. And their bags should be loaded on in around 5 minutes. I believe they're still being transported out. Some buses are on the road, as you can see. Moving again along, we have the Wolotea A321. This is in the inverted colours, so as you can see, it's the purplish pink white scheme. This one will be heading off to, I believe, Amsterdam on another new route. So it's the inaugural flight off to Amsterdam. There was a huge demand for it, as we know, because they don't have any narrow-body KLMs, so WOW Air have taken the opportunity. I am going to also look at getting a KLM, and I know I always say I'm looking at getting these particular models and never get them, but I definitely will be looking at a KLM one, so stay tuned for that. Moving along, we have two fire trucks, as you can see. If they both want to focus, there we go. Two fire trucks which are heading out to meet the Monarch A321 for a water cannon salute as its final goodbye, and also they'll be giving a water cannon to the WOW Air as it's completing its new route. Moving to the right, we have three models left now. The ANA Star Wars R2-D2 7879, one of my favourite models. This is pushing back for a flight out to Tokyo Narita. This is actually perfectly on time, so the ground handlers did pretty well with this one. I believe it is a semi-empty flight though, so there wasn't too much loading necessary. Moving over to the right, you won't be able to see this model particularly well. Actually, you won't be able to see it at all. I'm going to have to move the camera in a second for you guys. But over here we have, this is at my remote A380 holding stand, but other aircraft can use it. We have the Air New Zealand Boeing 777-300ER in the all black. This was heading out to Los Angeles and then Auckland. It did encounter some problems with the engine, so it's now sitting here, and as we speak, there is an Air New Zealand in the plane livery, ZKOKR, currently coming across the Atlantic to pick up passengers that have been stranded here and take them back. No idea when this particular one will be back in action. I guess we'll just have to see, and the engineers will have to tell us what's going on. What I'm going to do now is just move the camera along so you guys can see the Garuda SkyTeam, and then I'm going to show you guys the spotting area. I've made a couple more adjustments and it's now completely finished. I believe it's completely finished. It depends if I want to add more stuff, so I'll see you guys in a second. So it's probably not the best angle or like view, but here's the Garuda SkyTeam 777. This is heading off to Jakarta in around 2 hours. Not much is going on with this one. This one also doesn't make a regular appearance at the airport, so it's kind of good to have it in an update finally. So that's all the models that are on the mat now. I'm just going to go over the spotting area. Major changes, I've finally put in like the blast deflectors, I guess you could call them, and the shields. You can really call it whatever you want, but this one was balsa wood. That took me like a long time to actually work out what it was, but this is balsa wood. It comes in like the woody MDF color, and I've just painted it black. As you can see, it runs all the way along here behind the trees. It's quite nice. I would recommend this if you are making like a spotting area or a road at your airport, because it does kind of separate the airport grounds with the exterior, because of course it looks quite bad with just trees. So now we've kind of got a way of seeing, alright, that's the airport grounds up there, and this is the public zone. The cows and people aren't in this particular update. I've got them off to the side, and they will be in the next one. So move it along. I'm guessing I'll finish with this particular view of the airport. Thank you guys very much. Oh, we've got buses that are tipped over, but thank you very much for watching this update, guys. I do hope you enjoy it. Again, sorry that there's a delay. Just sometimes I'm not too motivated to record these videos, or there aren't anything new with them, so it might be rather boring. Of course, the grass is down. I'll just show you guys that quickly. There's the grass, and then over to the right we've got the second bit of grass. But yeah, there's not always developments with the airport, so I don't always want to record, and sometimes I just don't feel like spending the hour and a half setting it up, which it does take a very long time, believe it or not, to set this airport up. So hopefully it was worth it. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe if you're new. I do have a whole heap of exciting videos coming, including 2 inaugural flights on Monday, so another double upload on Monday, or maybe even a triple upload. Stay tuned for that. We've got trip report, in-flight videos, all coming very soon. In the coming weeks, we do have a Qantas 737 in the new livery, in-flight takeoff from Sydney and in-flight landing at Melbourne. Thanks to my cousin for recording that. So yeah, stay tuned, lots of exciting content. Thank you very much for watching once again, and peace.